So I like it.
Okay, I have another question for you, Sean. So I was watching your live the other day. I don't know. I don't.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Because pain is what allows you to grow as a man and as a leader. All right? You guys got to understand that. All right? So when adversity hits, you just got to say thank you. Instead of saying why me to the universe, you got to say try me.
Woo!
Because I'm built like that.
Woo!
All right? Real ones know this. Only baby boys go through stuff and they want to quit. They give up on their dreams. Everybody knows to achieve your dreams, you're going to have setbacks. You're going to have mess ups. Real ones know that the adversity that you overcome today give you the strength to handle tomorrow's success. Everybody knows that. Let's go!
I don't know what just happened. I'm scared. Anyways, Sean, I have a question. Damn, I forgot the question. You just blasted out of nowhere. Oh yeah, okay. So I was watching your live the other day, and like you were saying, like I noticed that like I think somebody already mentioned it to you, but I don't remember. I don't think you answered them. But I'm gonna ask again. So you tend to like bring up the Bible when it benefits you, but when other people like to bring up the Bible whenever, like, for example, I remember like I don't remember exactly. That's the thing. Okay, never mind. But basically, you tend to like bring up the Bible whenever like you want to like justify something that you do. But when other people justify things that you do that like are
Baseball batting right now. He just hit a home run his last at bat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew that. But
Tatis.
is he on the base?
He's the face of baseball.
Is he about to hit?
He's in the battle box.
okay. Let me look at these comments.
Sorry, we're not trying to be rude. We're not trying to be rude. Nobody trying to be rude. It's just Tatis. You pay all this money to see the game. You want to see the best player in baseball hit. All right. So with that being said, I don't feel like I bring up the Bible. I feel like people just, matter of fact, I know I only like use it as a response to people because they talk about religion. Even though a lot of them be looking at New Testament instead of Old Testament, and everybody knows that New Testament is kind of like tainted.
So you don't believe in the New Testament?
I think people should study its origins and where it actually like come from and the people that had influence over it. I think people should do a lot of research. I think to be honest with you, I'm not really religious. I'm not religious! Woo! And I'm gonna tell you why. I believe in a higher power, but this is it. People focus, it's the difference between what's right versus who's right. All right?
Right.
People who are religious, they be like, oh, I'm Christian. Oh, I'm Jewish. Oh, I'm Catholic. Oh, I'm a Hindu. Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm Islamic. Okay, cool. So I don't think that God put all these religions on this planet and they're all very similar for us to literally go after each other and attack each other. And people have been unalived and just all type of stuff. Hundreds of millions of people have went away in the name of religion. When the truth is, it doesn't really matter like what stories you believe. It doesn't matter who's right. It doesn't matter if it's Catholics right. It doesn't matter if it's Christians right. It doesn't matter if it's Muslims right. It matters what's right. And what's right is that you should treat people with respect, and you should show respect and praise and honor a higher power. So I like to focus on what's right versus religion is and tries to focus on who's right. Same way in relationships, people try to be right instead of doing what's best for the relationship. People make it you two versus each other instead of you two versus the problem, right? In a relationship, I think this is how it's supposed to go. Me and Olivia have a problem. It's supposed to be like, hey, how can we figure out the solution to this problem? Not us two versus each other. And I think if people had that approach, then a lot more relationships would like last. Personally, all I know is this. If people start focusing on what's right instead of who's right, I think the world would be a better place.
Okay, I respect your opinion. I see what you mean.
Let's go.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But Yeah, I see what you mean, but like, okay, a lot of people are talking about what you're wearing.
Yeah,
Like,
I'll show you how to fit. Just don't be trying to fall in love,
you don't
okay?
have to. I was just, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Woo! Ripped. Woo!
So,
Let's go!
Let's go.
oh my goodness.
Guns.
Let's go!
Woo! I love it.
Olivia, I always wanted to talk to you. Like, I feel like everybody would be hating on you. I feel like y'all so mean. Like, I don't know. I understand where they're coming from, but at the same time, like the things that people be saying about y'all, I be like, y'all don't have to go that far. Like, I personally, me with y'all's poly relationship, I don't support it, but I'm not gonna bash y'all for it. You know what I mean? I don't support it at all. Like, I don't really care. But at the same time, like, do you feel like if you probably weren't with Sean right now, do you feel like you could have been doing other things? Like, you know, you're 20, I'm 22, like, you know what I mean? Like, do you feel like you're missing out? Or are you like, you know?
Nah, I would have been doing the same things. I probably would have been more distracted though, with like things that don't really matter, to be honest. And by that I mean like not focusing on other things other than my business. So I would say that I would be doing the exact same thing that I would have been doing, just I would have been more distracted. And I probably would not be get farther in business that way.
And do you miss your family sometimes? Like,
Do I miss my family?
mm-hmm.
What do you mean?
Like, do you miss your family? Like, you know, like, are you in contact with your family?
You mean my biological family?
Yeah, your dad, your mom, your brother.
Yeah, I miss them.
Do you guys talk?
Yeah, we talk.
And they don't support the poly relationship, right?
Yeah.
You don't. Are you like? Does that make you feel a type of way though? Like, you know, like if your family doesn't support, like, do you care?
Do I care? It would be easier if they did. Not gonna lie, but it's not about life being easier. So I don't really care.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess that's all I wanted to ask on the live. Thank you for bringing me in.
My pleasure. Girl, thank you for supporting the lives.
Welcome. Bye.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
You-
Grr. Let's bring up the live to 300K and we'll bring on the next girl.
If you want.
Okay, guys, go ahead and like up the live to 300K.
Sure.
300K. And then we'll bring on special guest, Kenzie. Kenzie from yesterday. For the people that know yesterday, they know. So, yeah. To bring Kenzie on. The queen is back. Oh, we brought it to 300K. Okay. Let's bring on Kenzie. Hello, Kenzie.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good.
What
How
up?
are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for adding me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
My pleasure. What? I don't
Yeah, I
see
was
your
bummed
camera. There you are. There you are. Okay.
I was bummed our conversation was cut short yesterday. What'd you get removed for?
TikTok changed their guidelines. It just said general.
You just said general. That's really weird.
It just says general, and they just switched up a lot of stuff. I suggest everybody go read the new terms and policies. It's kind of wild.
Oh, well, that's a bummer. Um, are you okay picking up where we left off?
Yeah. That means I hang up on you, right?
Huh?
Huh?
What'd you say? You're gonna hang up on me?
No, you said pick up where we left off. Last time I checked, like it was cut short. So is that what you're saying? You want to cut it short again?
No, just where we were in like the topic.
Oh, what were we in the topic?
I guess we were talking about your relationship, and I had asked, like, do you consider it a partnership or?
Oh yeah, the greatest partnership in the world.
I'm sorry?
The greatest partnership in the world.
So you would consider you guys peers versus, because I know you use like the term king and queen, which is like a hierarchy. I don't know if it's that deep or if those are just like references.
Yeah. I mean, I think in any relationship there's a leader, but I definitely have a lot of respect for Olivia.
And what do you mean by a leader?
What do you think a leader is?
I'm asking you because I want to understand what you think it is.
Somebody that gives everything and requires very little. Somebody that makes personal sacrifices to ensure the safety and well-being of the people that he's leading. Somebody that takes all of his knowledge, wisdom, so that he can help other people reach their potential.
So would you say Shanice fit that criteria? Because it sounded like she did a lot for you.
I think Shanice was, I wanted her to be a leader. Yeah, in some ways, for sure.
So is the leader your role, or can anyone within the relationship be a leader?
I think in anybody else's relationship, they can do whatever they want. In my relationship, I'm always going to be the leader, because if somebody breaks into my home, I'm going to be the one to get up at night and go figure out what's going on. If an emergency happens, if a fire starts, or if something happens, the first thing both of my queens are going to do is look at me. What should we do?
So there is a hierarchy.
I think that's just like natural. Sure. I think all women want to be around a man that they can feel safe around. I think that's just natural.
Sure. Would you say that within your relationship, you would consider yourself to be the dominant one and that you want your queens to submit to you?
Yes, I like submissive women.
So why do you think within your relationship there should be a power dynamic?
I don't even understand what that question means.
Well, if you are in a dominant position and you want women to submit to you, then that is a power dynamic, because essentially they are going to refer to your authority.
Yeah.
So I'm asking you, why do you want a power dynamic within your relationship if you just said you were peers?
Yeah, but somebody has to be the leader. You ever heard of the saying, too many chiefs, not enough Indians?
I have.
Okay. Do you think that that's true? Or do you think everybody can be a chief?
I don't think that's true within a relationship, no.
So you agree that somebody should be the leader, correct?
Not within your definition, no. I think your definition of leader is that you are a boss.
Not a boss.
And that you are in a dominant position, and that your queens are in a subordinate, submissive position, which I don't think is how I define leadership.
I think you have a problem with submission. I don't think submission is a bad thing. I think you're putting it into a negative light. Somebody's always going to be dominant. Which one makes more sense to you? For me, as a man, having this place, having all this stuff that I've built, all these things that I've done, they come into my life and I continue to lead my life and continue to lead our life and continue to do great things, or sit up here and have all this stuff and then they come here and then they run the show. This stuff was already built. All the stuff was already done. We enhance each other. Why would I sit up here and take a back seat in my own home? Like, I'm the one that worked hard for this. I'm the one that went homeless from nothing to get here. And I did this to be able to provide for a family. So like, why would I take a back seat? Why wouldn't I want to have that leadership? What kind of man wouldn't want to be a leader in his relationship? What kind of man would not want to be a leader? Because a man is responsible by nature.
So again, like, I don't think that relationships are built off of hierarchies. And that's why I wanted to ask if your business and your relationship are intertwined.
Bro, I just do life. Like, I don't even know what you're asking.
So do you know what a Venn diagram is?
No. Anything over 2 syllables, I'm like lost.
Venn is one.
A Venn diagram is 1 syllable?
Well, Venn is one. Diagram is 2. So
So it's
they're 2
syllables.
words.
So it's 3 syllables.
Well, it's 2 words that are 3 syllables. So what I mean, is there any overlap?
Diagram is 3 syllables. Venn is 1, so we have 4 total syllables.
Diagram. Okay, you're right. So I guess diagram's too much. My apologies.
2, 3.
Good job.
All right.
Is there any?
That's 2. I'm getting smarter.
Yay!
Is there any overlap in your business and your relationship?
What? I just told you I just do life.
Okay. So let's go back to the relationship. So when it comes to my relationship,
Kenzie, I forget. Where are you from? You said
Montana.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you like to ski for fun?
I snowboard.
Ooh, okay. Ooh. I like to snowboard. Is it kind of like surfing?
A little bit, yeah.
What do you?
I would say there's some.
Kenzie?
I mean, real estate.
Oh, okay. What do you do in real estate?
I'm a realtor.
Oh, okay. How's real estate sales right now?
Good.
Huh?
Good.
Good. How many houses have you sold this year?
Like closed or under contract?
Closed.
Closed. I am at 12, and I currently have 2 under contract.
That's pretty good. So you made about $60,000 so far this year?
I prefer not to disclose.
Oh. All right. What's your question?
So going back to like my business and then in relationships. So I have my own business and my partner would have their own business. So they have no investment, like they don't work for me. They have their own thing. Those things are separate. In your relationship, are those things not separate?
Olivia, what do you do? Great question, by the way.
I run my own financial services and insurance agency.
I'm a business consultant, 2 totally different businesses.
Okay, so they are separate?
Yeah, we also have a business together, though.
Okay, so there is some overlap within you're in a romantic relationship and you're in a business relationship.
Love is law.
Family's business.
Family's business.
Okay, so the reason that I think a hierarchy is dangerous within a relationship is because I just think that's a patriarchal.
First of all, you've been so respectful, and I'm sorry, I'm going to go ahead and let you go on. Just so we can understand and have context, are you you in a relationship right now?
No, I was married.
All right, so you have a boyfriend right now or no?
No.
So you're single?
Correct.
So you're a single relationship expert?
I wouldn't call myself an expert. I mean, I don't have a degree.
Okay, give me this advice.
But Sean, do you consider yourself a relationship expert?
No, not at all. But I'm in a relationship.
Okay. Right, but you just had a failed one, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So what was the point of you highlighting that I'm single when you just had a failed relationship as well?
Because I'm still here with this one, with this beautiful queen, with this.
Sure. Do you think that I can have insights into a relationship, even if I am single?
I think you can have an opinion, but you can't have an insight. And even if you did have insight, I don't think it would be that valid, because what have you produced? If your insight was so good, it would be working for you, and you would be with your man instead of here talking to me right here, right now.
So So what's the longest relationship you've been in, Sean?
This one.
With Olivia?
Mm-hmm.
And how long is that?
A lifetime.
Seriously?
Yes.
How long is that?
I just told you, a lifetime.
I think it's been like a year, right?
Sure. Let's do it. Feels like a
So
lifetime.
a year is your longest relationship?
Sure. Yeah.
So I, with my kid's dad, was in a relationship for 12 years.
Yeah.
So do you think that I have...
I'll give you a bag of chips. And if you get a teddy bear, it'll keep you warm at night. But with that being said, all that wisdom and knowledge and insights that you have, you're not really applying it to your life right now. So it doesn't really matter. But go ahead.
I would actually disagree. I would say the fact that I was part of a relationship that was long-term maintained, and the fact that you haven't gives us different insights. And for you to just say, I've in a current relationship, therefore my insights are more valid, I think is disingenuous.
Insights are more valid. I just said you
Okay.
have all these powerful insights that don't seem to work for you.
Well, I don't necessarily think that you can make that conclusion. You don't know why.
You're just looking at the facts. You just said you don't have a boyfriend. Okay. Do you want to be in a relationship? Yes or no?
No.
All right. So why do you want to be single?
Because there's other things that I want to do.
Like
And I don't want
what's more
to.
Important, what's more important than having a family? Please let me know. I'll wait.
I have a family.
All right. What's more important than having a family?
Being fulfilled.
Okay. And I guess that, buying a couple extra Gucci purses and making money is more fulfilling than having family.
No, that's not what I said at all. I would actually argue that you're more materialistic than I am. I don't really have an issue or a desire to buy labels. I would say that at this point, I had a long-term relationship. There are other things that I want to do. I would like to travel. I would like to take classes. I don't know why you don't ask those questions and you just make those assumptions.
Why would a relationship prevent you from taking classes and traveling?
Because obviously it's a time investment, and so I want to invest my time. I'm already spread thin as it is between my job, being a parent, managing my household, my other relationships with my friends and family. And at this time, I just don't have an active interest.
What's your question?
So tell me, if you have such great insights into relationships, how come you haven't been able to maintain one long term?
When did I say that I had great insights to relationships?
Well, I feel that's what your channel is, correct?
I didn't ask you what you felt. I asked you for an objective opinion, an objective piece of data, not a subjective opinion. When did I say I had great insights toward relationships? When did that ever come out of my mouth?
I don't have a time and date of when those exact words left. Wait, you asked me a question.
You don't have a time and date because it doesn't exist. So go ahead and ask your question.
Is your content, is your presence here on social media because you are portraying yourself as a business and relationship guru, master, expert?
I am definitely not a dating coach because if I was a dating coach, this is how it would be. If you're not making $20,000 a month, stop dating. Get off the Tinder. That would be my dating advice to guys. Stop it. If you can't lead yourself to success, you can't lead your family to success.
So yesterday you said that poly relationships are better than monogamous ones.
1,000%.
Based on what?
Based on everything. The truth, the authenticity, the transparency, who wants to be in a relationship where you look at a girl and your significant other gets mad for a week?
I don't think that's a reflection of monogamous relationships.
That's exactly how monogamous relationships be going. Come on. You open the door for the girl and the girl say thank you. Your girl gonna be mocking you. Thank you for the rest of the week. Thank you.
I'm not at all. I would no, not at all. I would say that's like a depiction of insecure relationships. But in my what?
I said I agree with that.
But if you are in a secure monogamous relationship, then you have trust in your partner. Your partner can be polite to people who are of the opposite sex, and that doesn't have an effect on you. So again, what is better about polygamous or polyamorous relationships versus monogamous?
The truth, the transparency, and to be completely honest with you, a man is allowed to stay in his instincts, and when his instincts are in, he will achieve greater things and greater levels of success.
So I feel like that really wasn't an answer. Like truth and transparency is so vague. That wasn't anything specific. And then what do you mean by instincts?
Specific, you're just not a man and you don't know what man instincts are, so you would not be able to relate to it. That's the only thing.
Maybe you can tell me.
I did try to tell you, but okay. So there's 3 reasons why people don't learn. And number 2 is a lack of mass. It's like trying to explain the color orange to somebody that's blind. Watch this. If I'm blind, explain to me what the color orange looks like.
Oh,
like explain the color orange to somebody that's blind. I'm blind.
So I'm not asking you to give me a comparison.
Somebody in the comments, if you can explain to me what the color orange looks like and I'm blind, I'll pay you $100. All right, seems like nobody can do it. Can you explain to me what the color orange looks like if I'm blind? I never seen.
I think that's irrelevant to the conversation because I'm asking you. One second, I'm asking you what male instinct does a polygamous?
I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead.
What male instinct does a polygamous relationship fulfill?
Continue to pursue women, to procreate with as many women as possible. That is a male's instinct.
It is. I see. So why are there men who are monogamous?
They've been programmed that way. Literally, monogamy just depends on where you were brought up. The same as religion. If you're raised in the United States, you'll probably be Christian or Jewish or Catholic. If you are raised in a different part of the world, guess what? You're probably going to be raised a Muslim if you're raised in like the Middle East. So like, just because it's something that's like a cultural norm or a social norm doesn't undo like biology, 5,000 years of biology.
It's not an instinct.
It is an instinct.
Because if it were an instinct, it would happen regardless of social conditioning.
Okay. So if this is the case, what is the purpose of intimacy? Like the physical act of like 2 people getting it on and doing that adult thing. What is the purpose behind it? What's the biological purpose?
Well, I would say the purpose of it is for connection and psychological well-being.
You don't think the primary purpose of it is to reproduce?
I think that is a outcome of intercourse. No, but I would argue that more people have sex for emotional. Wait. Just let me finish this point, and then I swear I'm done. I would argue that more people have sex for emotional connection and psychological well-being than they do to have children. I have a child, and I have never had sex getting pregnant.
It's about biological. I think, right?
That does not undo the primary motive behind 2 people getting it on.
It does.
Which is to reproduce. That is literally what it's supposed to be for, to reproduce. That is the primary.
Do you have children, Sean?
So check this out. Other animals do it strictly to reproduce. Not for fun, to reproduce. That is that. What is the point that I'm making?
Right. So that's a very dehumanizing one. Do you want me to respond or no?
Excuse me.
Sure.
So when women, the way the Most High, again, the Most High, you guys get up here and talk about religion, and this is the way the Most High designed it. When a woman gets pregnant, guess what? She stops releasing eggs. When a man gets a woman pregnant, he can turn around and go get another woman pregnant. Why is that? Why does the woman stop releasing eggs, but the guy, his sperm still works? Everything on him still works. Because if he was designed to be with one woman, then his parts would not work if that woman was pregnant. If he was only supposed to get her pregnant, based on the design of the Most High, his parts would not work.
Are you familiar with what a logical fallacy is, Sean?
I've heard the term, but go ahead and educate it.
A logical fallacy is a fault in logic, and when we one that you just did is an appeal to nature. So because something happens in nature, therefore it means this.
You didn't define it.
Where
the only thing I did was 2 + 2 = 4. If that was, you're saying that that's untrue, then sure, it's untrue. But to me, it just sounds like somebody that's arrogant and feels like their opinion is more important than the way the Most High designed it. And I just didisagree with that. You're sitting up here trying to
that's just projection there, Sean. That's just projection.
Here's the truth. No, it's not projections. It's the truth. Here is what it is. You're a woman, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a man, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're trying to tell me about my mindset when you've never walked this planet as a man. You can't tell me how to be a man because you've never been one. You have insights for a relationship, but they don't even work for you. You don't have one, so it doesn't make sense.
Well, I could argue, number one, they don't work for you.
Listen, you are very educated, but you have no validity in this conversation. And clearly you feel like your opinion is the only thing that matters. So I don't really see how we're going to have an intellectual conversation.
So no, let me address that really quick. So I'm very interested in having an intellectual conversation. Like, this is what my platform is I do discuss ideas where I am challenged. But when you make a conclusion based off what you observe in nature, I could make similar conclusions and just say, well, we only really need a few men to keep the population going. Where women clearly are the divine, a reflection of a creator, are amazing. So I think women should run the world, and we should keep a very low population of men because women are kinder, they are more nurturing, they aren't violent. We really don't need a lot of men. And I'm sure that would be a conclusion that you would disagree with, correct?
I agree, but I disagree. I'm not saying we should just get rid of men because that's crazy. But I don't think every man should.
But I could just point to biology and say that's how I've come to this conclusion.
Excuse me.
You're excused.
I agree, but I also disagree because to get rid of men, but I do think I do think women should be a privilege and not a right. I don't think every man deserves a wife. I know when I got married, I didn't deserve to even be around women, much less touch one, much less smell one. I think women are the ultimate privilege on this planet and not a right. I don't think every man deserves a husband. I don't think just because you you're a man or you're born, you deserve a wife. I think you should have to earn a wife. And I think you should prove that by leading yourself to success. Because if you can't lead your family to success. But the truth is this, if we didn't have a lot of men when stuff went wrong, men are used for very important jobs. For instance, if you're burning in a building, you're probably going to want a big, strong man to come and save you. If something's happening to you in the middle of the night, I don't think you want the biggest, strongest police officer to show up. As soon as something happens, where something needs to be fixed, they need there. Think about it. When you take your car to the mechanic, it's not saying women can't be mechanics, but guys are typically better at that. Everything that is built significantly is built by a man. This app was created by a man. This phone was created by a man. So I don't think that you should be men we should get rid of them. They invent most things. Most of these jobs that women are working at are all companies that were started by men. So I do think men are very, very violent.
So can I address that?
Excuse me, give me 20 seconds. Let me land my plane. But I don't think every guy should be allowed to reproduce. That's just my 2 cents.
Okay, so you said a lot. point that I was trying to make is that when I
give me 10 seconds. These guys said I'm a misogynist. This woman just said that men shouldn't even be on the planet. So it's okay for women to say that men shouldn't be on the planet, but it's wrong for me to say that men are useful. Are y'all serious right now?
BFF.
Bro, are y'all serious right now? I'm misogynist. Privilege. Misogyny means hating of women. I just said that they are a privilege and they should be cherished and protected. That's the exact opposite of misogynistic. Y'all just be using words y'all don't even know the definition. Go ahead. I'm talking about the comments, by the way, not you. I'm talking about the comments. Go ahead.
Sure. So the point I was trying to make by saying I think women should run the world, I don't think we should have very few men, is I was saying that I can draw my conclusions off of base of how I see biology is constructed, which is why this is a logical fallacy, because we can come up with a variety of outcomes based on biology, which is why it's a logical fallacy. I don't hold that premise. I was showing you how ridiculous it sounds to make premises based off of nature, because nature has no morality.
Well,
To address, one second, I just want to make sure I address all your points, because you said more than a few. When it comes to the way that you described our current structure, you have to acknowledge that there has been a patriarchal social, economic, and government system where women were predominantly excluded from that. So to say that we owe men something because they haven't included us in the process, I find to be very patriarchal. And then I would also argue that like what you defined as misogyny is a very elementary idea, and that misogyny is actually the desire to control women. And it also comes from a patriarchal system that put men in a dominant position and women in a submissive position. And a lot of what you described is you in a dominant position and women in a submissive position.
Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
When women and men are intimate, is the woman in the dominant position or the submissive position?
I think it can depend on the relationship.
No, it doesn't depend on the relationship. Who's entering?
Of course it does.
Who's the one that's bending over?
What do you think dominatrix are?
Excuse me. Who is the one that is bent over and opening their body in a vulnerable position? The woman or the man?
I would argue that that's not vulnerable, because like who has their testicles exposed where I could kick them?
Listen, see, this is the thing. You talk about logical fallacies, and now you're saying that the man is not dominant when in a dominant position. Are you serious? If you can't,
what do you think a dominatrix is?
Nobody said anything about a dominatrix. I just asked about a simple position, plain old missionary. Who is the dominant? Who is in the submissive position?
I guess because he's on top. Are you going to say he's dominant?
Bro, you can put the girl on top and she's still in a submissive position. She's still taking something.
What makes it submissive?
Listen, at this point, you got it, bro. Because if you just are sitting up here saying that women are in a dominant position when they're intimate, I just don't even want to have this conversation. Like, it just proves the level of like.
Why? Like, why can't you engage?
You can't even agree that 2 + 2 is 4. This is dumb and it's not going anywhere. I'm no longer interested in the conversation.
So I think you
to Olivia, because I'm done.
Olivia, do you think within your relationship you are submissive?
Yes.
Can you tell me what the benefits?
You were submissive when you had them kids. You were submissive when you was laying down to get pregnant. And if you don't know,
I thought you were talking to me.
Then that's a you problem. This conversation is over. See ya.
Figures.
It doesn't figure. You can't answer the question because you don't want to be wrong. Guys, submission is not a bad thing. Ladies, be submissive to your guy, but don't be submissive to every guy. Find a guy that you feel like is worth it. See, this is what they try to do. They try to trick you into being a man, into trying to be a man. Why would you guys have the greatest gift, which is the gift to bring life into this world, and y'all want to try to be a man? That makes no sense. All of us are here because of a woman submitted to a man and laid down and had a baby and brought life into this planet and people like that want to sit up here and act like that's a bad thing. Bro. Y'all can sit up here and say whatever, but if we can't have a conversation of 2 + 2 = 4, what are we doing? It's ridiculous. It doesn't even make no sense, man. And y'all know it don't make no sense. And this is why I say people like to they do what's right. I mean, it's about who's right versus what's right. People just say stuff that makes absolutely no sense. And y'all saying Kinsey for president, that's wild.
Sheesh.
Somebody said, did Shanice take your shirts too? Boom, 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 What's this?
I don't know anything.
Here, we'll see y'all going live on my Instagram. Peace.